Question number 7, Andrew Little.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Justice. Does she stand by all her answers to oral question number 9 on Tuesday and oral question number 8 on Wednesday last week?
Honourable Judith Collins.
Mr Speaker, yes.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Why, when asked last Tuesday, quote, will the Minister implement the recommendation of the Law Commission made in March this year to modify the law on evidence in sexual offence cases, end quote, which recommendation related to advance notice being given of evidence on previous sexual experience, did she say, quote, no, end quote, and then tell the Sunday Star Times on the weekend just gone and the Dominion Post, as reported today, that she is planning to change the law of evidence in exactly the way the Law Commission has now recommended?
Honourable Judith Collins.
Mr Speaker, well actually the member has misquoted himself again, and what we have is he went on to say that wasn't, when he put the quote mark in there, it's not quite right, and I'm sure he knows it when he looks at the Hansard, because he went on to say so that victims are not re-victimised when giving evidence on offences against them. Well actually there's no way at all that anyone would think that the changes to the Evidence Act will of themselves prevent victims from being re-victimised when they give evidence, and I can tell that member I don't think of any proposal that would prevent victims from feeling utterly re-victimised whenever they have to give their evidence.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Speaker, what happened between question time last Tuesday and question time last Wednesday so that when she was asked to explain her no answer given on Tuesday, she first denied she was asked the question, then said I was confused, then said she was looking at the issue which the previous day she said there was no need to?
Honourable Judith
Mr Speaker,
Collins.
I can't speak for that member, but I can certainly say that I had a lot of work to do and I went to sleep and woke up very refreshed. Thanks very much for asking.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Speaker, does she think that her suggestions in the New Zealand Herald today of providing better information about court processes to victims, allowing someone else to read a victim's impact statement to court, and providing notification to victims about bail or parole, all of which presuppose a prosecution to be on foot, are sufficient to deal with the fact that 90% of sexual violations go unreported and only about 1% of sexual violence events result in a conviction?
Honourable
Mr Speaker,
Collins.
I can't imagine for a moment that the proposals that I am supporting would of themselves go anywhere near to deal with the trauma of a rape victim having to give evidence, having to make a complaint, having to confess to their family member where they might or might not have been, to get rid of those dreadful feelings that victims have when they get accused of wearing clothes that might apparently turn moderate men suddenly into abusers. So I can't imagine for a moment that anything that's been proposed would make a victim feel better. What it will do, however, is it will actually help to bring more offenders to account, and that's important.
Supplementary question, Andrew Little.
Speaker, does she accept that it's time to make real change on the law of sexual violation by ensuring the courts focus on the only issue in any such case, whether the act in question was consented to, and ensuring that complainants aren't left feeling as if they are on trial, and leaving issues of mitigation to the sentencing phase, or will she just continue to deal with this important issue with her usual bombast, bluff and bluster?
Honourable Judith Collins.
Well, Mr Speaker, on the first part of that question, I'd have to say that I take this issue very seriously, far more seriously than that member seems to be taking from the nature of the second part of the question, which I will have to say I will leave to him to be bombastic and silly about these issues. It's a very serious issue.
Question, order. Order, question number 8, Richard Prosser.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister of